Oh, how was the Zižek debate? You know, they were all meh. The format was like there are three people. You give a prompt. Everybody responds for 3 minutes. Next question. Everybody responds 2 minutes. Next question. Everybody responds 2 minutes. Next question. Everybody responds 2 minutes. Which is not that entertaining for going back and forth. Meh. Like it would be more fun to have like to drill down in a conversation rather than just like everybody take turns talking, I think. Did you go to any other talks during the event? A couple. I'm in this, so I'm in the staff tent, and and there's like, you know, Zižek is behind me and all these other people. Hold on, I'm trying to think of how I want to tell these stories because I feel like I'm preemptively burning bridges. Let me just put it this way, okay? I'm just sitting here, so I want to sit in the I want to sit in the speaker's tent. Because there's what I consider to be like tons of high IQ, super intellectual people. And I'm like, I want to sit here and absorb some of their wisdom. Like, what do these guys talk about? And it's so much self-indulgent conversation. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I think I was typing in chat, like some of the things that I was hearing. It was just like some of the most pretentious. Does anybody have my logs from that day? And it was just like it just sounded like everybody's like trying to like one up each other with their intelligence. Which is really funny because for me, I can get in with anybody in this tent because if you ask a few questions, people are so excited to talk about themselves. But I ended up feeling really bad because there's this lady to the left of me, and then behind me, I'm listening to Zižek and these guys talk for like 35 minutes. And then the lady to the left of me asked me a question about her schedule, and I'm like, oh, let me see if I can help. And I find out she's giving a talk on, can capitalism be made good? And then I kind of joke, and I was like, oh, this is funny. I'm a YouTube, retard, but I talk about a lot of stuff like this in my stream. And I'm like, what's your background? And she's like, oh, I think she got a PhD in microecon, and she's a professor at Harvard. And I'm like, fuck. I should have been talking to this lady for 40 minutes instead of listening to these fucking randos behind me. And then she has to walk off and do her speech. I feel like an idiot. Oh, top and bottom. Oh my goodness, I'm just listening to these philosophers talk on this tent, and these conversations are lol W. Oh, one guy said, I say, psychosis is just the decoupling of reason with value. Bro, every single thing these guys were saying felt like a tweet that I would read on, what's the name of that one guy? Daedalus or whatever? The book guy? You know you're right when both the left and the right are attacking you. Soy, soy, soy. The opposite of spiritual is not atheism. It's extreme anthropomorphism, and it's rotting our society. The overprescription of medication is the direct personification of the spiritual void. Bro, dude. Oh, I was like, okay, well. There were a couple of like really intelligent people there. I'm trying to think if I want to burn my New World debate. Vosh would love this. Yeah, maybe. Thoughts on Zižek? Žižek seems like a funny, interesting dude. Like, we all chat around and we chatted for probably 20 or 30 minutes. He just seems like a funny guy. He seems like very personable. Yeah, but again, like there wasn't like very much deep conversation going on back and forth. So, yeah, I don't know. What's the biggest difference between the UK and the USA? I don't know. The language. That was the British cuisine. I don't even think I ate any real food. I'm trying to remember because I was thinking like, what meals did I eat? I don't think I had a real meal the entire time I was there. Breakfast was good. The bonger guy made breakfast, I guess. That was cute. God, roasted tomatoes are so good. You just bite into them and they're so juicy. That's the one part from that's the one more part from the bonger breakfast that we need to incorporate on the US breakfast. What was the place you were staying at in Wales? It was cute. It was like not an Airbnb, but an actual B&B with like a couple of old Brit bongers who were really into World War II. I thought, but they were cute. It was a cute guy, cute older lady, yeah. A few things I wasn't ready for, okay? I haven't spent too much time in Bongerland, and I think this is the first time I've driven in Bongerland. Okay. I always say Americans drive crazy, okay? Like North America is like, and South America too, are crazy drivers. If you ever driven in Sweden, okay? The speed limit on the highway is like 40 kilometers an hour, okay? It is very slow. So in Sweden, even if you don't know how to drive or what the roads are like, it doesn't matter because everybody's moving so slow. It's like everything is inconsequential. Like even if you get an accident, nobody cares. Okay? Everybody in Sweden drives so slow. Okay, in Wales, these roads are so fucking small. I'm not even sure if they're meant for one car. Okay, I'm not actually sure. I'm like, am I supposed to drive here? And all of these are two-way. And Bongers or Welsh people do not fuck around on these roads, okay? I'm going like 45 on a road where I feel like I'm gonna lose my life at every turn. And I'm getting tailgated like crazy by every single fucking person in this country. And it is so goddamn stressful. Because I'm already having trouble, like, centering your car, for me at least. I got used to it by day 2, but day 1 was so stressful. Keeping your car in the center of the road is very weird when you're on the other side of the car. Plus, I'm trying to change gears with my left hand instead of my right hand. Plus, I got my phone for my map on, and these roads are so fucking small, so I'm trying not to run off the road while also not getting killed by the people that are driving on the other side of me. Jesus Christ. There's no cameras, which is why people speed. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that little town I was in was also really weird. They're just like no rules for the road. There's like some of these roads, there's only one car at a time can go through, but people just like stop and wait, and it's like, I guess, yeah. Why would you not run it automatic when you're driving on the left for the first time? Well, no, I've driven on the left. Technically, I've driven manuals on the left because I was on in New Zealand. They drove on the left side of the road. I didn't even know they rented manual cars. I just hop in this Audi and it's like a 6-speed, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, good luck, I guess. Do you not need a special license permit or something? I'm pretty sure in most countries, as silly as it is, I think you just need a driver's license and the English language, and they'll let you drive. As weird and funny as that is. Would you go again? Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, it was a nice place. Oh, to that festival? Yeah, I think so. I think I would do it, yeah. And it's fun chatting up like random people who don't like know me as much, and like intellectuals. Like there was another lady I chatted with that teaches biology and shit. There were a lot of really smart people there. There was okay, I will blow up Kelly here. This motherfucker. Okay, so there's a guy that goes here. Okay. There's a guy on a panel, 3 people. One was like, one was an author lady. One was an author lady. The other was like a philosopher guy. And then in the middle, I didn't know how many people were coming to this festival. I'm going to be honest. When I first accepted the invite, I thought this was going to be like 50 people at the whole thing. Okay. But it's like it's Žižek, so I'll fucking do it. Okay. I thought there was going to be 50 people the whole thing. It was actually a really big festival. There were, what would I say, 1,000 people there for visitors, and then a lot of really high quality speakers. I was really impressed. And in the middle, there's a guy called Roger Penrose, okay? This guy is like a Nobel winning physicist, okay? He's like 91 years old. Very intelligent guy. Very interesting that that this guy's here. So that he goes back and forth, and the panel is incredibly mismatched, which is kind of funny because this guy stage left is like trying to argue with Penrose about like where consciousness comes from, but he's just a philosopher, and and anytime a philosopher starts talking about quantum mechanics, like I could tell that Penrose in the middle was a little bit irritated because like the guy on the left is like he's like mixing up like special and general relativity and trying to talk about human. It's just like it's a kind of a whatever. It's just it's funny watching Penrose. He has to keep like correcting him in the middle, but whatever. But afterwards, he gave an interesting theory. Not theory. I'm sorry. He has an interesting opinion. So Penrose believes that no AI will ever be sufficiently complicated enough to have like a conscious experience. And then he references something that sounded to me like Cyril's computer room, where he mentioned something about how like if you teach a computer Chinese, like it might know the language, but it doesn't have understanding, which I thought was interesting. Wait, why are we typing copium? What did I miss in chat? Thank God I know I was right. Wait, did I miss something? But so regardless, so I've got a special speaker pass, so I figure maybe I'll get a little bit more credit. I can chat with the guy. And he's going to, so he goes to a tent. I wait probably 30 minutes for everybody to go, and then I have the chance to talk to this dude. I'm like, this is a Nobel winning physicist. Like I'm so fucking hyped to talk to this guy. So I asked him a question about, there were a couple questions I had. One was, I was curious if he had an opinion on the idea that, because he talked a lot in his speech about how physicists are relentlessly trying to marry relativity and Einstein's theory of gravity, space-time with quantum mechanics, and as been done. So I had like one was a question of like, do you think that physicists are mistaken for trying to simplify everything into like a single equation, or do you think there's any merit? Because I've heard some people talk about that. He spoke about that for a little bit. And then my second question had to do with, I wanted to know what he meant about understanding. When you talk about how something understands something, like what does that mean to you? And then I wanted to go, from there to see like what he thought the fundamental difference would be between like a brain constructed in a computer versus like a human brain. And he's halfway through answering this question. He's halfway through answering this question. I don't know why she does this. And then Kelly to the left of me, she's like, can you explain to my friend the double slit experiment? I was trying to explain it earlier to him, but I don't think he understood. About how things can be both a wave or a particle depending on like frequency and shit. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do this to me? And then he spends like 25 minutes talking about wave particle, and then I just like leave, and I'm like, why? This guy is 91 years old. He's on death's door. This guy, I don't even know if he survived the walk back to the tent. Okay, he's looking rough. Penrose is literally the most accomplished still living physicist. Is he? He was giving me like a pretty interesting explanation for his understanding too.
Any upcoming panels for shows?
No. I mean, I'm doing Keep It Kick tonight. He rambles a lot, but he spent like building up to the understanding thing. He gives me like a 15-minute background on Christ. I don't remember the first part, but it ends up leading into like Gödel's incompleteness theorem and the idea of like meta rule sets, that you can have all the rules for a given set, but there might be rules that exist on top of those rules because there's rules that are applied, et cetera, et cetera. It was like a pretty interesting discussion up to that point, and then she just curved it completely into the, oh God. Can you reach out to this guy and talk to him on stream? No, I asked if he'd ever talked to Sean Carroll, but he said that he knows him, but he says that they have a lot of disagreements, so I wasn't sure. But the guy's into philosophy and everything too. And it's like, he seems like he'd be a good match for a show, but Penrose is reported to be entering hospice care this month. Is that true? In physics, people with different interpretations of quantum mechanics hate each other. Yeah, that's what it seems like. For just listening to Sean Carroll's show, I don't think they hate each other, but there's like, apparently there are very, very, very fierce debates over like interpretations of QM shit. But yeah, I don't know. Fuck him. He was on Sean's podcast? Oh wait, was he? Oh, maybe he misinterpreted my question. Oh, he was on his show. I wonder if he forgot. Or I wonder if maybe he misinterpreted my question.
And welcome to the Mindscape podcast.
The mass was above a certain amount, which was a bit more than the mass of the sun, 1.5 times the mass of the sun, then there was nothing would hold it apart, and it would.
Oh no, he sounds way more lucid here. Oh shit, because he sounded. Well, I feel like I'm I'm not like shit talking him. He did sound pretty rough. This sounds like a totally different person. This doesn't even sound like the guy that I talked to at all.
It's really pretty uniform.
Now,
what does that indicate? You say, well, okay. Suppose
Would you watch his
gas in
appearance?
the box.
Maybe we'll see.
then the temperature would be pretty uniform. If it's at a maximum entropy state, you just leave it in the box, and the temperature, apart from gravity.
Wait, he was on Lex Friedman, was he?
It would be uniform temperature. So.
Oh, he was 3 years ago, though.
The following is a conversation.
Lecture courses that were nothing to do with what I was supposed to be doing. One was a course by Hermann Bondi on Einstein's general theory of relativity, which was a beautiful course.
He is 91 years old, so I mean, I'll give him some credit. But.
He was an amazing lecturer, brought these things alive, absolutely. Another was a course on quantum mechanics, given by the great physicist Paul Dirac. Very beautiful course.
He was also on Eric Weinstein's podcast like 2 years ago. Oh, interesting. This is from last month.
You might think they're very different from each other. The Big Bang is very, very dense, very, very hot. The remote future used to call the Weyl curvature hypothesis. Weyl curvature is a particular kind of curvature which describes gravitational field getting very strong rather than the matter getting very strong.
He was on my podcast too.
And so I just said, okay, singularities in the past have got to zero Weyl curvature, just a hypothesis. Can't do much with that. But one of my graduate students, Paul Todd, he's had a much better way of saying it. He said, why don't you say that you can stretch out the Big Bang?
Just the way that she, I don't even know why, dude. Okay, anyway, but. Why did Kelly think you didn't understand the double split, though? I don't know. I don't know if she was trying to, like, one-up me or what. I have no idea. But I don't care. Whatever. Regardless, I thought it was okay. Did you meet Sadiq Khan? Good one. Did you see Zerka took it too far? He talks a lot of shit. Yeah, Zerka's on some wild shit right now.